Yeah, I found that too. Like, I was just having this conversation this morning at the breakfast table with Brayden, about how I actually feel way more connected with people right now,
Yeah.
even though I've been seeing nobody.
Yeah.
And I was trying to figure out why. And it dawned on me that right now there's this like, yeah, there's all of this kind of fear and stuff about what's going to happen. Well, unknown. There's a lot of unknown, which a lot of people will internalize as fear.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I kind of like unknown. Like it sort of sparks my adventurous side, and I'm kind of like, ooh, what's coming next? But that's me, and I'm a little weird. So, but anyways, there's a lot of unknown, a lot of fear. But I think a lot what comes with that too is a lot of compassion. Like, we're really worried about each other, and I think that the worry is actually sort of like, for most people, probably going in the positive direction, where it's a I want
Yeah.
to look out for you type of thing. And we can see that because people are really starting to take this like self-isolation thing really seriously, and they're not I don't believe that. I mean, if you're in our generation or younger, it's not because we're trying to protect ourselves, really. Like, we're not really the target of this virus as much, right? And so that means, in my mind, that we're really looking out for each other. And all of a sudden, this like world is becoming this teeny tiny place where Italy feels like my neighbor, and I really care about those people who I don't know them, I don't know any of their names, but I know what's going on, and I really care about them. And I know that I can play my part by kind of staying socially isolated to try to help somebody who maybe I don't even know from catching a virus, to
Yeah.
make sure that, like, by staying away. And so there's been this really interesting like feeling of connection and oneness with the world that I've been experiencing. And also just connecting intentionally on social media and via like over the phone or video calls and FaceTime. I've before I don't know, sometimes like it wasn't so intentional before, but now when I'm making these intentional phone calls to my grandparents, and these intentional phone calls to you and to other people, and more phone calls, or like this, like an intentional message to a friend overseas, checking like, hey, how's it going, when I probably wouldn't have thought to message.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's kind of neat how this really big scary thing is sort of actually kind of like bringing us together and like creating this unity and this sort of flow. I've been finding it really fascinating.
Yeah, I'm really, really curious to see what we do different post COVID-19. Like,
Yeah.
how things will this kind of unity carry on, and how can
Mm.
we intentionally make choices and put things in place to keep whatever we build during this time of self isolation? How can we keep that going once we are no longer needing to be self isolated? Um, and yeah, like the idea of compassion, and that we're actually making choices. This was a big conversation in our house with our kids, because it's hard for them to not see their friends, and it's hard for them to not be at school, and to really understand why. And so we asked them to just think about every time they have that like frustration or anger, where they like wish they could see their friends, or sadness, to just remind themselves that the reason that they're doing this, and the reason that they're sacrificing that time with their friends and their teachers, etc., is to protect their grandparents. And that makes sense to them, because
Yeah.
they have a grandma who has a compromised immunity, so it's really important for her to be safe, and for everybody in her community to make the right choices so she can be safe.